we're down to do that. You're also seeing cartel leaders like El Ricky getting busted and locked up via Mexican officials. You're seeing the ramp up happening in real time. It's going to make things a bit dicier down at the border, but, hey, we have to secure this country. We have to. And we have to take the illegal aliens that are here, and we have to send them home. Let's go to Gerard on line 2. You're up first on Super Talk. What's up, Gerard? Gerard.
Hey, man, I love the show.
Hey, man, thanks for listening. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I listen every day. Hey, one of your previous callers bring up somebody back in the past who is illegal. What about that guy that was videotaped by the reporter? Asked him his name. He's a Middle Eastern man. He's like, you're going to know who I am soon enough. You're going to know who I am. I'd love to find out when they catch that guy. That's the dangerous people right there we're after.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of dangerous people. A lot. I mean, and we understand that special interest aliens have been caught and released. There's too many to even, where do you begin? Where do you begin? But we need to ramp up, and we need to ramp up fast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'd like to see that guy taken out of the country.
Yep, I know exactly who you're talking about, and I'm with you. Let's go to Rick in Tullahoma. You're up next on Super Talk. What's up, Rick?
Hey, Chris. Appreciate taking my call.
Absolutely, man. What do you got?
Hey, I'm kind of torn a little bit on this because I'm glad they're locking things down, and I'm definitely glad that we're abiding by the rules now. And obviously, you've had different administrations that do what they do, and we're a sovereign nation with borders, all those things I agree with, and definitely go out, man. My American blood just boils when I hear stories about people coming in here and doing these terrible things and basically spitting on us, and I hate that. But then I think about, on the other hand, you have people that have been here for a long time, and they do contribute. And like that one guy said, they're giving them certificates for driver's license. They can get loans. They can get a house, all these things. But then they're contributing and paying taxes. And then you got regular Americans who are living off the system and costing us. I just wonder, is there a solution that can be done?
Are they paying taxes?
Well, some I'm sure they are.
I mean, I think that's warped. I think that they say, they're paying taxes because when they buy things, there's sales tax. I think that's a leftist talking point. Everybody pays taxes anytime you buy something at a store. I don't know how much you're actually paying in taxes. I know that a lot of your money is sent back to your home country in the form of remittances. So that money that you are earning is now out of our economy. And I know that the job that you're working was taken from an American citizen. So maybe I'm being too cold and I'm being too surgical, but I feel like you almost have to be. Like, do I feel bad that somebody's cleaning lady or an agriculture worker might get swept up in all this? Yeah, sure. But you know what? That's like 1% of the illegal aliens that we're discussing. 1%. You're talking about millions upon millions of people. Mexico said that they're having a hard time dealing with the aliens we're sending back. They said no country can handle this. It's like, what, we're supposed to handle this? Now, I'm of the opinion that, that sucks. You still knew what you were doing when you broke into the country illegally. Just because you were here for X amount of years and prior administrations didn't want to enforce immigration law, I'm sorry. I feel like it is more humane and more respectful to blanket it for everybody as opposed to being like, well, you've been here long enough, so you're good to stay. Or, well, you have only been here for 6 months, so you have to leave. You know what I mean? We're splitting hairs. I think it's easier to say everybody's got to go. And you know what? By all means, self-deport. Because if we catch you, you're not going to even be able to apply for a decade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely have a valid point there with that. And not to buy into all the liberal rhetoric, I guess, but I guess I just think about some of those situations where is the solution just deport everybody, or is the solution, I don't know, not amnesty, but is it some sort of, maybe because maybe they find that they do pay taxes, but now they don't get to vote or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of concerned about those thoughts. And listen, I'm glad we're doing what we're doing. I'm glad that they're locking things down. But I don't know. It's just a different. It's not maybe a popular vote or opinion on this stuff, but it's just something I think about.
I don't think you're the only one with this thought, Rick. I don't, and I don't think you're on an island, man. I think a lot of people look at the human element, and it's hard. It's hard to wrap your head around. But I I think we just need to go full bore and go that route as opposed to trying to make special exemptions or do an amnesty thing. Like the last major amnesty bill we had was Reagan, and he granted amnesty to a bunch of illegal aliens, and then California went from a very, very conservative red state to never being conservative again and voting blue. And you've seen what's happened to California. Like the unintended consequences of that can't be understated. They just can't. So I'm completely against amnesty, and I'm sorry. Like you got to go home. If you broke the law to get here, you are by definition a criminal.
Yeah, well, no doubt. Well, I guess my point, like, and I don't even know if amnesty be the right word. If it is an allowance or whatever it is, would they then just a thought of like then they wouldn't be able to vote? Your voting rights are gone, so maybe that would slow down some of that, that political stuff on it. I mean, I don't know. It's just a thought. Just something to think about on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear where you're at. I go zero tolerance. I think zero tolerance is the route we need to go. And I mean, you're well within your rights to disagree with me, man. And I'm glad that you disagree with me. I think it makes for a better show. But I'm not there with you. I'm not.
Not feeling it, huh?
I'm not feeling it, Rick.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Well, no, I appreciate it. Appreciate what you do, and you stand up for what you believe. It just, just a different thought I had on that. That's all.
Hey, I hear you, Rick. Thanks so much, man. God bless. That was Rick in Tullahoma. We'll now go to Rick in Columbia. What's up, Rick?
Good morning, Mr. Chris.
How we doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Before I get to my quick statement, allow me to say I had a long career with the Nashville Metro PD before we relocated down here on our little horse farm. And in my retirement, there are now only two things that I must do each morning, which is to turn on my coffee pot and the Chris Hand Show.
My man, I appreciate it, Rick. Thanks, man.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
One more thing. Listening to you every day share President Trump's and his administration's new major accomplishments. I'm 75 years old, but man, every morning it's like a kid waking up on Christmas morning and got everything he wants. It's amazing. Truly amazing.
It's been a wild 2 weeks. It's just an insane 2 weeks. I haven't even covered. I feel like I've only covered the tip of the iceberg with what Trump has been able to do.
And I don't see it changing. Thanks for taking my call, pal.
Hey, Rick, thanks for listening, man. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody that listens, as always. The show is 9 to noon. Tomorrow on the show, the one and only Brian Wilson is back in the main chair. He's going to be filling in for me as I fill in for Nashville's Morning News and Dan Mandis on the morning show. So thank you for joining us today. We'll be checking in with Chad Benson next to see what he's got coming up on the Chad Benson Show right here on Super Talk. 11:53, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. You need a water filtration system? You need a water softener? Are you tired of the chemicals that they're putting in your water? Better Water.
Turn the freaking frogs gay.
BetterWater.com. I thought that was going to get less funny the more we played it.
It can't.
It actually just gets
It just
better.
gets better. They turn the frogs gay.
And then I just come in with a drive. BetterWater.com. I asked the guys. The guys over there at Better Water are awesome. Craig, Brandy, they're great. I said, you okay with me doing that? They're like, we thought it was funny.
It was great.
They're like, perfect.
It's great. That's part of doing like the lives and everything,
Yeah.
having personality.
Yeah.
Do you ever see Bill Burr when he first did his podcast and he did Sherry's Berries?
No.
He goes, he'd never done a live. They handed it to him and started, this is what you got to do. He's all, Sherry's Berries, this is the dumbest thing in the world. Who wants, hey, you guys want stale fruit? He went off about how horrible it was. They said it was the best day they ever had.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He goes, you guys want fruit that'll be, you get it at noon by 3, it's gross.
Did you see that they did with him with the Smashing Pumpkins guy?
Oh, yeah, Billy Corgan.
Was that a setup? Do you think that was a setup?
I don't think he knew.
Because Bill Burr doesn't like that.
No, he didn't. He didn't like it.
'Cause
He was on the other day. I think he was on one of the sports shows. And,
Bill Burr and Billy Corgan, they look like they're
brothers.
Yeah, they're like separated at birth.
Yeah. Originally, they thought they were. He was told originally, "Hey, your cousin is in a band," but it found out that their dad had 2 separate lives, 2 families, and he lied to both of them. The thing that's crazy is he told Bill, "I only know how to play the saxophone and the piano." He told Billy, "I don't know how to play anything but the guitar." So yeah,
So they are brothers.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, that's kind of the conventional wisdom is that guy's their dad, and he just told them he just lived separate lives.
Yeah, half brothers.
I've
brothers,
never
yeah.
understood how a guy could pull that off.
Or why?
One family is hard enough.
Yeah, I mean, why? But
And to keep one in secret, how do you do that?
I know, and to keep one in secret, close-ish by. Because they're both East Coast, like Boston-y kind of. It wasn't like he had one in San Francisco and it's the 50s and you were there 2 weeks out of the month and vice versa. No, it's like, hey, I'm going to go out for something. You go over and play baseball with like, that's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, but it was definitely, he had no idea.
Yeah, I saw that clip. It was awkward.
Yeah, it was very awkward.
Very uncomfortable.
I don't think because it's funny because I don't think it's not that they don't get along or anything. And he even said, look, I got nothing against Billy and stuff. It was just Billy's embraced the whole idea of it more than Bill. Corrigan is totally like, yeah, this is my dad. He was not. Bill Burr thinks the whole thing is a bunch of crap.
They have the same name.
Yes, that was the other thing. Bill and Billy.
Oh, my gosh. I guess that's one of the ways you pull it off.
That's it.
You don't slip up.
It's just incredible.
My son, Billy.
So, and how weird is that? It's like, man, what are the odds that your kids are going to be super famous and never meet?
So weird.
Well, that was always the thought, too, that McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are brothers. Because their moms were really close together, and one of their dads, the one guy that they all knew was a big philanderer, was all over the place. And that was always the thought that they even did a DNA test.
Really?
Yeah, and I think they didn't tell anybody, but they did. That's why they were super close. They grew up in like that little town in Texas. I mean, it's all like, that's the kind of thing that they've always talked about.
Insanity.
It is. It's crazy.
See, I don't follow the celebrity stuff much, but I do think that Justin Trudeau is Fidel Castro's son.
I don't know.
Have you seen the pics? Have you seen the pictures?
It's close, right? It's close. It's interesting.
They look a lot alike.
Oh, Trudeau.
And he was broken down when Fidel died.
Oh, well, what's
sad.
not to be? I mean, a guy who enslaved an island and got to do it forever with zero. It's like, man, you got to be a mass murderer, enslave an island, and you died under, just peacefully.
It's like all I got to do was shut down truckers' bank accounts.
That's it. That's all I got to do.
That was the closest thing I could do.
Piss all of Canada off every other day, but not enough to make a change.
And then he bent the knee yesterday quick.
Yeah, my whole thing is I was like, okay, I was still trying to figure out what exactly, what do we want from them? I mean, okay, fentanyl, but it's like 1% of fentanyl comes in. I wasn't really.
I worry about the terrorists coming in from that side. That Canadian-U.S. border is woefully undefended.
Yeah,
And-
by both sides. I mean, what are you going to do? Because they figure it's out in the middle of godforsaken nowhere,
Yeah.
right? Like,
But even in like major areas in like Washington, like you can just walk back and forth.
Oh yeah,
It's
you
insane.
Go, like up to the like Wyoming and Montana, you don't even know where you are. You're like, it was the same thing when you go to parts of Mexico. You're walking, and you're like, oh, we're in America. Oh, I didn't even know that. We're in Mexico. Oh, well, there's nothing out there. Like if and the terrain is what they
Separates
think is
it.
going to separate they think, hey, this is such a nightmare that you're not going to want to cross this. So that's the kind of like natural defense they think there is. But it's if you want to come here and see in certain times of the year, obviously in the winter through the upper Midwest and into that, you're going to really want to get here and not die. You're going to turn it into a Donner Party. And in the summertime, in parts of the desert, you don't want to be anywhere near that stuff. Good luck to you.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, Phoenix
Phoenix is like a big metropolitan area, and you don't want to be there in the summer.
I know.
Let
It's
alone
insane.
in the middle of the desert with no water.
Yeah. I'm with you. What do you got coming up on the show? Where are you focusing?
You know what? We're going to talk a little bit about U.S. aid, which is just fantastic.
Are you telling me that you're not a fan of transgender comic books in Peru?
I'm absolutely a fan. It's like, and the $2 million we gave Guatemala for gender reassignment and LGBT activities, and yet why didn't we just give them $2 million and say, keep your people there? How
Right.
about that? You know, so we're going to talk about that. Did you see the DNC this past weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we go just the part where the guy stops them and goes, we're going to have to get Helen up here. It's the greatest.
Chad Benson's in next. It's 12 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.